Welcome to the Log Time Podcast. Been a bit since I got to do the intro. This time, two dudes and a sick boy talk about the beginning of the summer 2019 season. A lot of shows this time around, and a lot of surprisingly good ones to boot. Summer's been good this go around, so you're bound to find something you like. Well, let's start conversating. You guys are gonna have to bring in the energy this time. I swear, it's not good.
Okay, we'll do what we can, bud.
I don't know. Okay. Actually,
well,
I would love to talk about Dr. Stone real quick.
Oh hell yeah! Let's talk about Dr. Stone before you die.
Because I got words about Dr. Stone.
Do you now?
Words? Yeah. I mean, granted, there were a couple of shows that I only watched like an episode of. This is one of them. It's not good. I don't enjoy it.
Oh, fuck you.
I don't enjoy it.
Oh, okay. We're starting off vicious.
So here's the reason why I personally don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
The main characters. That's it. Everything else about this is great. I just fucking hate those two dumbasses.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
For real? You...
Like, I don't know, Taiju's alright, but like, Senku is literally just a Mary Stew. Like, he exists to just be, look, I'm so amazing. I counted for 5,000 fucking years.
Oh, you poor thing. It's so stupid. No, I'm kidding. Wow, that
was brutal.
I didn't expect that out of you, honestly.
I love the idea because I think it's fascinating having this world in which, like, you know, it's been completely taken over for thousands of years. It's been retaken. Nothing is the same, and it's just trying to rebuild society in that way. And I've heard that it starts to get into some discussions of politics and various things like that, and just, you know, the organizations of human beings in these beginnings of civilization. And I think that's right up my alley. Fucking hate this dude. I just don't enjoy him at all.
I can understand where you're coming from. Like, Senku as a character is... I don't know quite how to put it. He knows everything, and he's an absolute brainiac, and he's kind of insufferable, but that's part of why I like him. And I think if he was a little less bombastic or just knowing everything than he actually is, I don't think I'd like him as much as he does, or as much as I do.
I think
rather.
It would lose the charm of the show a little bit. It's kind of reminds. Okay, sorry, but it kind of reminds me of Steins Gate in that way.
Yes,
like the kind of stupidity of that main character.
Well, I mean, given our history, I think you understand.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. All right. No, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it makes sense.
I wasn't a huge fan of that guy either.
Yep. This is the truth.
But I guess it's kind of similar in that way. That it's just kind of the same sort of thing. It's
I don't know. Just the way that he holds himself and the way that he, like, just knows everything for no fucking reason. I'm just like, is this just the second coming of Jesus? Like, I'm starting to think back on our, like, original few podcasts that we did, and I'm starting to picture our good boy Jesus-kun.
Like going back to Mahoka?
Yeah.
We're going back to our Mahoka days here.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from, but honestly, the way that Senku is just as fucking turbo brainiac as he is, complemented by Taiju being an absolute no-brain dingus who is pretty competent, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, he is. It's kind of unfortunate that they keep portraying him as, like, the stupidest man alive, because he's actually all right.
Well, the thing is, for the first episode, it definitely kind of paints him in that light, but I'm caught up at this point, and in the 4 episodes that we've had so far, they do a remarkable job of fleshing out all of our main cast in such a way that makes them feel like not just set type pieces. It's very interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, going off the first episode, I can understand why you personally would not be super into this.
Yeah, and where I was just watching like a bajillion other things, and like picking and choosing like which ones I was going to keep up with. Usually, if it didn't pull me in immediately, I just kind of dropped it. So.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Yeah, and I might still give it a chance because I'm not saying that it is bad. I'm just saying I personally just didn't like it.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and you have plenty of time to get back around to it because it's a 2-core.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's going into next
season.
season.
Is it a 2-core? I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
It's slated for 24 episodes.
Guess
Also,
I won't be watching that for a while.
Can we talk about that hairband on Ogawa-san, the girl?
Yuzuriha. Morgan and I were talking about that the other day, and she's like, okay, but she's like, what are those? And I'm like, I think they're headphones. And she's like, no.
Yeah,
I was like, those are not
headphones. Too.
I was like, said that. They're headphones, but they're headphones that are too small for her giant-ass head.
Right, because that's what she said. She was like, they're not even on her ears, dude. Those aren't headphones. What are they? And I was like, I don't know, a growth? Like, is she okay?
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
This is bullying.
I guess it's just supposed to be a hairband, but like it confused me so much, and it was so fucking perfect. Where after like Taiju like finally breaks out of the rock, and he goes so far and finally gets back to her, and it just jump cuts to her, and it's just she's frozen in stone with that fucking headband.
And she's got them fucking ugu eyes and everything.
Yeah. She even has like a little bit of the pouty duck mouth that's supposed to be like attractive or whatever. Just as if she was
you paid a lot more attention to that than I did. Apparently,
as if she was killed in the middle of a fucking Shakespeare thing. Just how tragic.
Jesus.
Wow. It's.
Anyways, yeah. I can see why people enjoy this. Not for me. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. I have a lot of fun with it.
I like it.
It's
for what it is.
Yeah, it's goofy science shit, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it may be something that I finally warm up to after a little bit.
Yeah, but if you don't, that's fine too.
I just thought that would be a good one to start out with because I figured I was going to have a slightly different opinion.
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't expect that myself.
What a mood, right?
The art style was kind of interesting for that show. It's kind of
it's kind of a callback to me in a lot of ways to like earlier art styles.
It's like
you would see
maybe something like Hunter x Hunter, like kind of like that sort of art style, like that kind of art style. Yeah.
Something that you would see from like a classic like 2000s shonen kind of thing.
Yeah, it's got that sort of art style. Yeah.
It was cool.
But
nice callback.
Yeah. Our art style and everything else aside, like it's just a fun shonen, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I guess we'll see where that goes. See, because I honestly didn't know it was going to be a 2-core. That's surprising to me. I mean, I could see how they could.
I didn't realize that either, actually. I thought it was a 1-core.
I didn't realize it until I just looked at its page on Mal. So
they must have just updated it.
Yep.
Because I thought it was just 1-core. Oh, well. Since we're talking about shonen, let's talk about Fire Force for a second.
Oh, fucking thank you.
I have not seen
Bless
this,
you.
So you guys are gonna have to let me know what is this.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't like Fire Force that much.
No, I can understand that. So Kyle, to give you a brief elevator pitch, Fire Force is the most recent work by the dude who made Soul Eater.
Gotcha.
Also happens to be the brother of Masashi Kishimoto, the dude who made Naruto. Interestingly enough.
I remember you telling me about that. My mind was fucking blown.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can thank Matt for that.
That was part of the article on the blog. Go read it. That's a plug. Okay, let's move on. Fire Force is pretty interesting because I think the animation is probably the most interesting thing about this show.
Oh god, it's gorgeous.
So it's very, very lively.
And
I can really appreciate for what they were going for. Mm-hmm. Like, just in the case of, like, all the, like, really, like, at least in the first episode, it was, like, a lot of, like, dark shadows and with the fire and stuff. Like, it was very, like, I mean, it felt like you were really at a place that was burning.
Yep.
So that is very fascinating. I know there's a ton of good animators out there that do, like, flames and stuff. So it's obviously that they're getting the best effort. I don't know who they have on the show in particular, but I mean, it's obvious that they put a lot of work into it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm not really sold a lot on the story beats, I guess. Like, I kind of like the main character and, like, the kind of, like, backstory he's got. Like, that's kind of, like, the only part that's, like, keeping me somewhat interested in watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Is just his backstory and kind of, like, oh, you know, like, all these people are criticizing him because he's apparently, like, this demon. Like, that, like, you know, maybe...
He's been given the nickname of a demon.
Yeah. And, you know, like, because I guess he... Like, people think he burned his, you know, parents alive or something. I don't remember. As I said, I've only seen one episode, so I don't know, like, how ingrained the specifics are, but I don't know. Yeah. Like, he's about the only character, though, in the show that I guess really, like, and I really understand that the first episode probably put a lot of focus on him, and that's fine, but I just don't feel like that a lot of the other characters drew me in, and I wasn't really, like, captivated by the setting. It was mostly just the main character's backstory and the animation is what drew me in.
Yeah, no, and that's perfectly fair, and that's a good reason to go with it, because I know Funimation is its major licensor right now, and holy shit, they threw a lot of money at this show, it seems like.
Really?
They are advertising it out the wazoo. So kind of it kind of reminds me of, like, when Crunchyroll was advertising Shield Hero, except it's a good show.
Well, some people would argue you on that. A lot of people dropped Fire Force. Well, yeah. I say a lot, but I say, like, a couple of people that I trust had dropped it for. I don't know what reasons, but it had something to do with their treatment of the characters. So.
Okay.
I don't know. Apparently, some people didn't like how their female characters were being treated. I don't know. That's just something I came across in a couple of different tweets.
I mean, I did just pull up the PV and notice that there's some girl that just has her fire jacket completely open with bouncing boobs, and I was a little confused about that.
Yeah, that's bad.
I wouldn't say it's bad, but I would say it's not a good impression of the show.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the first 2 episodes. I know the 3rd episode got delayed for some time because of the Kyoto Animation incident, which, understandable.
Yeah.
But for what it is and for what little bit I've seen, Fire Force is very interesting to me, and I do like it primarily just because of the art style and direction it's taking, and just the way that it lends itself to such gorgeous battles and fight scenes and such. It's really cool, because I mean, like, we basically, with the setting being, you know, there's a bunch of these supernatural firefighters that are trying to take out people that have fallen to spontaneous human combustion. They just turn into these big fire creatures called infernals. And with, like, our main character Shinra, he can shoot fire out of his feet, so he can do, like, jet shit and a bunch of, like, gnarly acrobatics. And there's just characters that can just control and manipulate fire like a witch. And I don't know. It's like it's very shonen. No one is gonna argue otherwise. But, you know, for what it is, it's pretty fun. But I'm kind of the same way with it as I am about Dr. Stone. I can see why people would drop it. It's just kind of, for me, it's a fun battle anime. And for the 2 episodes that I've seen so far, I haven't seen anything that's, like, extremely egregious about it.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
but again,
I don't know either. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the rest of the episodes, so I don't know how valid those arguments are. But
yeah, your mileage may vary.
I am sad that I slept on at least trying it out, though. So I'll probably have to make up for that.
Yeah. Well, again, you've got time.
Doesn't it got like 4 cores or something?
Oh my fucking god!
Isn't it
really?
slated for like? It's slated for 72 episodes or something, isn't it?
What?
Holy shit!
I'm pretty sure. Let me fact check that, but I know it's at least got 2 cores lined up.
Oh, I had no idea. I didn't know how much it had lined up for it. God, that's more than Fruits Basket. Holy shit!
Hold on, let's see.
I mean, I guess if you have like the dude who made Soul Eater coming back, and they wanted to make a big splash, and they figure it can do it.
Yeah.
Because Soul Eater, I remember, maybe it was just over here in Western media, but it was a fucking sensation when that thing came out.
Apparently, it's also announced that the series will premiere on Adult Swim's Toonami.
Oh, cool.
That makes sense.
Enough.
Again, Soul Eater was on Toonami, so
yeah. Let me see here. You can go ahead and keep talking. I'm just gonna keep looking.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the opening for Fire Force, by the way.
Oh god, it's so good. Miss Green Apple
Miss
did
Green
the opening.
Apple. They're so good.
Oh my god, dude! Like they still have one of my favorite OPs ever. Goddamn.
Yeah.
So,
Fastest Finger First opening.
Yeah.
Like that is just
oh my
good.
god. That show. I still to this day cannot believe that show got that OP.
Yeah.
But it deserves it. Oh my god. Yeah. Inferno is such a good song. For Fire Force.
Yeah.
That is. Good shit. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't really have that much more to say about it. I think it's definitely interesting, especially in like the second episode. There's a larger discussion of they're going to put out an Infernal, and our main character Shinra and his kind of foil Arthur Boyle both have out their fire extinguishing weapons, and their commander Obi is like, y'all need to put that shit up, because what we're essentially doing by taking out Infernals is killing killing the family members of the survivors here, because they are ultimately humans that went under, spontaneous human combustion. So it's interesting in how it tries to look at and portray how you work with survivors in these kinds of situations.
Okay.
It's neat.
That's usually because that's usually not dwelled upon. It's just like the people that go through these horrifying incidences. Most of the time, like in most shonen, they just kind of be like, yeah, there's fucked up shit that happened, but we save people. It's all right.
Yep. It's just like, well, collateral's collateral, I guess. Whoopsie. Yeah. So it's very interesting in how it approaches this idea of, what is a hero? What does it mean to actually be a hero to someone? And, how do you approach that in a working environment like this? I don't know. It's fun. It's flashy. It's kind of dumb shonen stuff, and that ticks a lot of boxes for me. And I'll be happy to watch it as long as it's not absolute trash garbage.
Yeah, and I don't think it will be. Even as far as the complaints I've heard, it just sounds like, it sounds like it's going to be at least consistent quality. Also, update: the season 2 is apparently not confirmed, but it is some news source had leaked it, so I don't know how much you want to trust that. But
okay.
So it's and it's only for the second season. So
okay, cool.
Also, as I was scrolling through, I noticed that apparently in episode 3 they toned it down. I don't know what that means, but apparently there was some kind of because of the KyoAni thing. apparently they had to remove some of the more graphic content from episode 3.
Oh.
And
Yikes.
a lot of people were not very happy about that. But
no, I think that's honestly the best call for the.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
really
the respectful way to play that out.
Like, you can watch the full thing when it hits the Blu-rays. Like, don't worry. Just like for right now, I think it's totally fine to censor.
Well, also, if you consider that episode 3 had content of a building burning and people being burned alive,
That's what I was picturing in my head when you told me that.
Not something you want to show that close to that. So, perfectly understandable.
Reminds me of way back in the day. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but in the lead up to, I think it was the first Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire, there was a lot of advertising that had like the Spider-Man logo, and it was made out of a web, and it was hanging in between the two towers.
Yep,
I
remember
they
that.
had to pull all that shit like real fast.
Well, not only that, this isn't the first time this has happened in Japan either. I mean, think about the school days. That's the most popular nice boat airing, because of the serial killer chopping someone's head off, the day before that aired.
What the hell?
There's also the incident of, probably the lesser known incident, I just learned this recently, of Madoka Magica's final episode. Apparently there's a large earthquake in Japan, and they didn't censor anything, but they delayed the airing of a month.
Oh my god!
Because there was a lot of buildings collapsing and stuff. So
it was just mass destruction of that city in that episode.
So they delayed the episode of that as well. An additional 2 weeks on top of the already 2 weeks because of the earthquake. Everything got delayed, but.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that happens.
Yeah, again, understandable.
Yeah, there's really not an argument there.
No.
But just some fun stuff. Fun facts. Fun, if you want to call them fun.
Choice of words, maybe.
Interesting facts, maybe. But
it's Fire Force.
Yeah,
what
so
else
that's
have you
Fire
guys
Force.
watched?
Let's see, what other kind of shonen-y shit can we talk about in our shonen block that we've created for ourselves?
Oh, dude, we can talk about Vinland Saga.
Vinland Saga?
Yeah.
You want to talk
Oh man, yeah. Am I gonna have to?
I've only seen 2 episodes so far, but holy hot fucking shit, I love this show.
God, it's so good, isn't it?
It's so good.
Oh man,
it's
Matt
checking every single fucking box for me. Well,
you can tell I'm not a shonen person, but
except for the OP, because like it's and I know I'll get some hate for that, but it's just I'm not a huge fan of Screamo. So
that's fair. I don't know how much I would say that this is a shonen.
You sure?
I would. Well, I mean, like we're gonna have him as a little boy for like 4 or 5 episodes.
Really?
I mean, he's going to.
It's in the synopsis blurb of the show.
Oh, That's the thing. I went in completely blind.
No,
okay, all right.
Never mind. In the first episode, there's like an emphasis of a time skip, isn't there? Maybe it's only in the opening. I'm not really sure.
No, it's only in the opening.
It's in the opening.
They show the passage of time for this guy. Now, granted, his dad's way too good of a person. That dude ain't making it to episode 4. Like, let me tell you that.
Man. Thor's is such a good dad.
He's such a good guy. I'm like, there's no way you're making it past a few episodes.
I didn't
feel
get
so
vibe,
bad.
Yeah, you're probably right now that I think about it.
Thor's is delightful. Good pacifist Viking dad. Leif Erikson, Hinga Dinga Durgan. I about flip shit.
Wasn't Leif Erikson an actual like leader in the Vikings?
Leif Erikson was some historical figure.
He was important.
I don't know
in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool that that he has an adaptation in this though. Like that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like Vinland Saga is so goddamn pretty. I personally love the OP, and I think it's about like the most like Greenland Icelandic thing that they could do for this show as an OP.
Hell yeah.
Because I mean, like, it's perfect for what it's setting out to be. But I feel you, and I can understand the.
No, it's like I know that I
it.
personally am not a huge fan of screamo, but this is the fucking Nords. Like, black metal is from Scandinavia. You have to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like the ED though. I was gonna say
who's the ED guy in that show? I don't remember. Go ahead.
I actually don't know.
I'm gonna look. You just keep talking.
I liked their use of 3D in the show because I think that it's relatively it blends very well.
It's very unintrusive.
Very unintrusive.
Which is good.
Even whenever the characters themselves are just full 3D models and you're just looking right at them, they just do a good job of masking it.
Yeah, most times I don't even know that they're using 3D at all.
Yeah.
Which is astonishing. But I mean, like, that's studio wit for you.
It's true. Like the water looks really good. I know that's probably partially 3D.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like,
I didn't even think about that. What else has studio wit done?
I mean, Attack on
Titan is the major one.
Oh, okay.
And Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress.
Yeah. They also did Warrior No Seraph. What else?
Oh, they're also doing the OVA for the little short.
Mage's Bride. That's the other one.
Oh fuck! They did Mage's Bride. Okay, yeah, no, tons of good stuff.
It's the ED's by Eimer. That's what I expected. I like her as a singer.
Yeah, it's a rad ED.
I'm a little sad that there's no Shield Maiden so far. Kind of still hoping out for that.
Well, we'll see. We're like, there's 4 episodes out right now, so
yeah,
I'd be surprised.
I'm just a little sad because that was an important part of that culture. So, but yeah, no, I'm loving this, man.
Yeah, it's very interesting to come into an anime about Vikings and have such a strong, staunchly like anti-war and anti-combat sentiment to it through Thor's.
Very interesting to me. Yeah,
it's so fascinating to me, and I am very excited to see where they take it because obviously they're going to take that and absolutely shatter it. So it's going to be interesting to see how, you know, Thorfinn takes it as his dad's legacy going forward, perhaps.
Right, because like I love whenever they the Vikings that came by. I can't remember which Vikings they were. It was like the Jorm Vikings or something like that.
Yes.
They came by and they told the villagers that there was going to be a war, and they celebrated. And then you just see like Thor's in the background just walking away because he's just so distraught that war is finally going to come to his people. And it's like such an interesting thing when you think about just, you know, the entire basis of like a lot of the religious beliefs of these people are you die on the battlefield, you die a warrior. So it's, man, it's such an interesting thing to have that anti-war sentiment put in there. I'm very excited to see where that goes.
And like all the characters are very interesting in how well fleshed out they feel.
Yeah, even other people that I wasn't expecting, like Thorfinn's sister. I can't remember her name. Like she immediately stuck out to me as somebody that had like a lot of personality, and I was like, that's really cool. Cause
Ylva or Ylva, 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 whatever.
Yeah,
sister.
Her.
Very cool. I thought it was very cool that that was the same for a lot of other side characters too. Like they just had a good personality to them that I think was shining through in even just the 2 episodes I saw.
Yeah, it's really interesting because I mean, like when they were shoveling snow off of the top of the house, I remember her looking.
Plants.
she fucking beefed it because she looked at her dad. She looked at Thor's and was like, Dad, why can we not just get a slave to do this? And he just looks at her and is like, we don't do that. Yeah. That's not what our folks do. And she's like, fuck you, I guess. And then she eats shit and falls off the roof.
So good.
And I'm like, hey, you little fuck. But yeah, I don't know. I like the feeling of it so far.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed it up to this point, and I get the feeling that that's not really going to change anytime soon for me. So,
is there any...
Again...
No, sorry, you go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, again, it's fun to watch. I don't have a whole lot more to say about it than that and what we've already talked about.
Yeah. Is there any other, like, typical shonen or shonen adjacent shows that you can think of?
Well, Matt, did you have anything else to say about Vinland Saga?
I'm sorry.
Oh, not really. I mean, you guys basically covered it all. I'll try to keep up with it, but you know,
it's not first priority for
you. It's not a priority. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it doesn't. That's not an indicator of quality or anything. That's just I've got other shows that I want to watch. So
yeah. What is a priority for you right now?
Honestly, and it's the space show.
Astra, Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I
like
don't
that
know
show.
anything about this show.
I like that show.
Oh, dude, Astra Lost in
good.
Space is good.
Now, fair warning, the first episode is a double episode, so it's gonna take you about 50 minutes to get through the first one. But that honestly, like, it needed it. Like, that first episode, like, sold me on the show. I was not convinced about 15 minutes in. I was like, I don't know about this one, guys. And then I got about 30 minutes in, and I was like, okay, this is a good show. This is a must-watch.
Yeah, so, Kyle, do you know anything at all about it?
I literally know nothing. To be honest, I didn't know that this was a thing in this season until, I think, earlier today, whenever I think somebody was talking about it on Twitter, and I was like, the fuck is that?
Okay, cool. So the basic idea is that it's like 2061. Space travel is something that is a lot more integral to society at this point. Like, I mean, folks do it for fun and recreation, but also for like commercial and business travel and shit like that.
Okay.
And so there's a bunch of high schoolers that are going to go to what's called Planet Camp. So they're like...
Oh, they missed a huge opportunity to say space camp.
I think they were going for something that wasn't that.
Yeah. Because...
What? Because space camp is copywritten? Pfft, whatever.
Because they're left on a planet for... What was it, Matt? Like 5 days, a week, something like that?
Yeah, it was like 5 days, I think.
Okay, like your typical camping trip kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're just supposed to like fend for themselves. It's a safe planet. They just need to find resources, everything else, all that jazz. And our group of about I think it's about like nine-ish folks.
It's 9. It was originally supposed to be like 8, and then they were like,
Oh, the little sister.
Right. Because that's like part of their mission. So.
Yeah, so there's 9 kids in total. They got to survive for that. And then they get hit by some weird black hole thing, and it dumps them into deep space by a ship, and they all have to come together to survive.
Oh, okay. So they basically have to form their own crew to try and get back home.
Yeah, it's like the
dude,
FTL version of anime.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do like FTL, but you also know how much I love Star Trek. This is right up my alley. All right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I mean like, it's an interesting cast of characters. But also, Matt, can I just say how consistently stunned I am that there is a character literally named Charles LaCroix?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Charles LaCroix is his name.
What does he typically drink, do you think?
His own fizzy spit.
Oh, okay.
He's a pretty blonde boy. Looks like a gaijin. And so I don't know, the basic premise of a bunch of high schoolers like stuck on a barely functioning spaceship that can get them home. It does sound like a kind of dramatic thing that is very easy to beef, but they do such a good job of like not making it be this constant dramatic kind of slugfest, because it really hones in on this sense of camaraderie, and that made all the difference.
Yeah, it actually like that. It seriously made a big difference in the first episode where they were talking shit to each other in like the first like 15 minutes, and then like suddenly like the disaster happens, and suddenly like you can see them like not wanting to do it, but they're like, we have to do this because we're gonna die if we don't, and we don't want other people to die, because that's just not like, even if they don't like the person in question or don't agree with them, they're a person and we can't let them die. It seems to be like that kind of mentality, and I'm like, that's good. It is that sense of camaraderie like you were talking about. But it's just the way it's the way it's like framed, and the way it's like, you know, just this real, you can almost feel how the characters are feeling. It's a very empathetic sort of show, I feel.
Yeah. And like, I feel like it would be very easy to upset that balance of character dynamic for a show like this. And like that kind of way that the characters interact with each other could easily have made this a show that I just dropped and did not want to watch easily. But it's for me at least, it has a very nice balance of drama, but also not making it so much that the characters are like at each other's throats or things like that. Okay. It is delightful, and yeah, if you like Star Trek and such, this is definitely up your alley, I would say.
Hey, Gusta, yeah, I'll have to watch that probably like later tonight after this.
Again, remember the first episode, double episode. It's a doozy, so strap in. But
that's so cool. I'm glad you guys brought that up, because I did not know.
It's honestly probably my favorite show of the season right now.
It's so good, dude.
It's very good. I mean, but there's a lot of good shows this season, like shows that you would not think that would be like decent. Well, here's one, Granblem. I don't know if you guys have not heard of, or Granblem. Sorry, I keep thinking it's Granblem for some reason. Granblem. It's because it's fun to say.
It's like Fire Granblem.
Yeah, it's like a Gorblin. Just like
it's a Gorblin.
A Granblin.
Here there would be Gimglorbs.
No, it's Granblem.
Yeah. Yeah, I know of it. I know that it's got some like SD Gundam looking mechs in it. Some like fucking.
You're gonna have to explain this in further detail, because you bringing up SD Gundam immediately makes me hate things. So
yeah, they're like, again, I haven't seen the show, but I do know that they have Chibi Chunko mechs. They're very squat little things.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's a magical girl show. With mechs.
Magical mech girl show.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
It was it's one of those things that it's kind of like I like the show because like the characters I think really drive the essence of the show. Episode 2 like sold the series on a lot of people, with the main character's mentality of just wanting to be something, because I guess as far as I can tell, I haven't really seen the episode myself, but as far as I can tell, like the main girl has some kind of like complex where she feels like she's not changing the world enough, or like she feels like she's like not I don't know how to describe it, like
she's not doing anything important.
Yeah, kind of like that. And it kind of like, I feel like because of like her finding that she has these powers, she's like strengthening herself. It's a very like that kind of story.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's pretty much a show where there's bad guys and bad magical girls, and they're mech battling.
I'm not gonna lie, this PV looks fucking sick.
I mean, it's actually like, it looks really cool. Like, and half the show is like flashy mech battles. So if that's your thing, like,
oh, dude, yeah, no,
Gundam
Wing was one of the first shows I like stayed up to watch. I was like, yes,
like it is. Most of the show is flashy mech battles. So your mileage may vary if you don't like that, but honestly, like it's got the good parts of a magical girl show, and it's got like the good parts of a mech show, and it just mixed them.
I can think that. All right.
So it's kind of got like its own sort of like energy that you kind of like got to get into. Like it might kind of feels like if you're not into either of those things, like maybe like the show might not be as good. But honestly, like it looks really cool. I mean, I can say that much. It's another one of those shows
very
that I'm
colorful. Like, I can say that at least from the PV.
I'm like, and apparently that's not diminished at all. So it's another one of those shows that just looks really good, and I'm hoping that getting more into it, it can like really bring out some of the more positive qualities of the show, like it did in the earlier episodes.
Nice. I'm excited to try that one out. There's a lot of great shit I didn't know about this season.
Yeah. Kyle, have you watched Maidens in your Savage season?
Have I watched The Greatest Show Ever Made? Yeah. I've
caught
a couple episodes.
Good. Very good. Good. This is my show of the season so far.
This is my show.
Hands
of the
down.
Season. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Everything about this is right up my alley.
The fact that we have a show that is just revolving around high school girls trying to... wait, are they... They're high school, right?
They're high school.
They're not middle school.
No.
Okay, yeah.
No, they're high school.
Yeah, revolving around high school girls going through adolescence and puberty and trying to figure out why the fuck everyone is so interested in sex is fascinating. But the fact that the show is not like just a comedy, but is also more centered around actual real drama and trying to understand the human condition and puberty and adolescence in a meaningful way, while also being one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life, is incredible. I will absolutely never in my life forget the entire build of the first episode where our main character, Kazusa, has the hots for her childhood friend, and we know that this dude loves trains. He reads train timetables. He builds model trains, everything else. And at the end of the first episode, she walks into his room and sees him just fucking jacking it to some porn flick, while there is some song that is just saying like train, and just over and over again. And I howled. I absolutely fucking howled. It's perfect.
Well, now that you mention it, that train... No, you didn't have to mention it. As soon as you started describing this, that song immediately started blaring in my head. And I'm like, that is probably got to be the most obnoxious song I've ever heard. But it's
such an iconic scene.
It's just like, that is going to be unforgettable.
It's one of those I can hear this image.
Yeah,
things.
I can hear this image. You are correct.
It's also it's emblazoned into my head the look of pure and utter dread on his face. Just the shock and surprise, and then the realization. And I was like, oh no, I've been there, dude.
I love how he just tried to play it cool too. He's just like, so what's he been up to?
Yep.
I'm like, well, that's really the only way you can go about this.
It is. And
that is the only solution to this problem that you are now in.
Yeah, it reminds me of the joke from Mike Birbiglia where he accidentally jumped out a window and was like bleeding all over the place. He goes in the front desk of the hotel and he's like, "Hello." Because you have to start somewhere.
God. This show definitely feels like a Mario Okada creation.
Oh, it does. Even though apparently it's like very much a huge teamwork effort.
Yep. But I know that she did a lot of the script work, and she's the one who came up with the initial concept for it.
Oh, and it shines through like real good.
You can tell.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yep. It's an Okada production, and I'm still waiting for when this show breaks me in half.
Yep, that's gonna happen too. You just gotta give it a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna make me cry real hard. But so far, I'm very much enjoying that each and every one of these girls, the way that they're being introduced into, sex education, and like all this other stuff, like it's their own different and diverse approach to it, and I thought that's very cool too. Each one comes from a different perspective, and so they're dealing with it differently, and I'm like, that's very cool.
Right, yeah, because I think it's fascinating, for instance, that one of our characters, Hongo, writes erotic literature. And that is she gets her information about sex from like ERPing and such, and that's fascinating to me. But also, wow, do I have some friends that would feel seen if they watch this show?
Actually, now that you think about it, yeah, same actually.
but between that and then having the character that is like a student council material and is like, we have to come up with a pseudonym or a euphemism for sex
because
we cannot say the actual word. It's so funny, but it's so sincere and sweet in how it handles this stuff, and it feels so true to life, because that's the thing, like I feel like you could make a show about adolescent kids going through puberty and trying to understand sex and have it be so completely out of touch with how actual kids
it could
deal
be, like,
with and process this.
Incredibly bombastic and like all this other stuff, but like this is just very like down to earth and seems almost very real.
Down to earth. Mm-hmm. You guys already forgot about the train scene. That was
trust me, man.
Train.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know what your guys' lives have been like, but yeah, I thought it was pretty out there. So.
It's bizarre. I can't relate. I think one of us can, but this isn't the podcast for that. I don't. No offense, man, but I don't think our listeners want to hear about that. Or do they?
I'm feeling attacked.
Check our Patreon.
I'm feeling attacked. What Patreon? Donate $15 now.
Did you just tell them to donate to our Patreon? We don't even have one.
It was $15 a month now, and you just can hear all of my rants about sex and sexual education and how fucking terrible it is in this country. All right, so that's my pick of the season.
That's a pretty good one. I'm not gonna lie, that's a very good choice.
It's so sweet, it's so funny, it's so sincere in its handling of the material. I care deeply about all these characters so far, and I'm like, you all are a bunch of idiots. Please take care of yourselves.
Yeah, I know. Oh gosh,
God, it's...
You know what's also a really sincere one that surprised me is Given.
Oh my god, dude, yes.
I've only seen a couple episodes. But yeah, like, I just love how genuine and sincere, like, the relationship between these two individuals and, like, how they're coming together and how everything is working. It's so nice. It's so sweet.
Yeah. Matt, have you seen Given at all? Do you know anything about this show?
No, I haven't seen it. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good.
Were you looking at something?
No, yeah, I was looking ahead. I was looking at Given.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You think the show would be a Given, but it's not. I haven't seen it. So that was bad. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Honestly, I'm surprised because whenever I heard that there was going to be a BL story this season, maybe it's just because we tend to get a lot of parody of BL, like among the stuff that we've seen. That for some reason, I thought that it was going to be like a little bit more, I don't know, just like tropey and stereotypical in like so many ways, but like, I don't know, like so far everything just seems very genuine and real as like these characters are doing this. Like initially I was expecting it to be like just a whole bunch of handsome boys being like all over each other, and I'm glad that it's not. I'm glad it's a lot more real than that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I would not look at Mafiu and say you're a real person.
Oh no,
at all.
Don't get me wrong.
Mafiu has issues and has some serious like damaged protag syndrome going on right now. But to be fair, it also seems like he has some real like PTSD level issues. So
right,
yeah.
But the reason that the fact that he's fighting through that is great.
Basically, the idea of a boy band romance show is delightful to me.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And I'm very much in the camp that you were talking about, in that like I really appreciate that it's not just like a swarm of like yaoi hands and such going on right now. Yeah. Like it's actually really sweet. As of like maybe an hour before we recorded, I watched the most recent episode that dropped today, and it's so nice to see like the supporting cast as well, like Haruki and Akihiko having their own kind of like ideas and struggles with love and such, because like Haruki, our good grad school boy, has a major crush on Akihiko, but you know, it's not the kind that's like all consuming and controlling and all that shit.
Right, yeah.
So it's not showing like queer romance and, you know, affection as something that is like weird or other or like bombastic in some way.
Yeah, or
like it's nice to just
in some way, like, you know how like the church constantly, like church will constantly dictate it's not love, it's lust, and so it's like there's a lot of fight against that. It's like no, it's not just like a pure like enthralling sensation. This is love. This is like actual love.
Yeah, it's nice to ultimately just see it treated on the same playing field as if we were watching like a shoujo romance or something like that. Yeah. Again, like it's got room to fuck up, but I haven't found any real issue with it so far, and I think it's really fun. And man alive, they paid a lot of money to get like Marshall and Fender and Sabian and all those music licensors to be on this dang thing.
Well, either that or it was free marketing.
Or the other way around.
The other way around, it was free marketing, and then they funneled all that money into the fucking fantastic animation for playing the instruments.
Reminds me of KyoAni.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Because KyoAni did the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a lot of fun so far.
I'm surprised it's only 11 episodes. I only just saw that.
Ooh, that's a good question. Why is it? Is it an Amazon show?
No, it's on Crunchyroll.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure it is.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen the show, so I don't know.
Crap.
Yeah, it's Crunchyroll.
Okay. See, that's what I thought.
I was about to say. After you said it was, I just watched it on there.
After you said it was Crunchyroll, I was like, I think you're right.
Because like, I was looking around for ages to try to find the dang thing, and it just wasn't dropping anywhere. Like a week or so into the season, and I was like, "Where the fuck is?"
Oh, it's a Noe Tamina show. They're always 11 episodes. That's what I was looking. They're like that's a rule. That is not an exception.
I had no idea.
Yep, that is a TV block in Japan. All of their shows are 11 episodes, no matter what it is.
That's weird.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sarazanmai was also a Noe Tamina show.
Yes, it was.
So, there you go. Well, I say that, but then I look and see like Banana Fish, but obviously that is, longer than 11. But typically they are 11 episodes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I guess ultimately, like I think it's fun to see Mafu kind of growing as a musician, and to see these other guys take him under their wing and kind of watch that fun little growth there.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little unrealistic, like how almost like innocent and ignorant he is of things, but I do like that, like it doesn't seem to be sticking too much to like he's ignorant about everything. It's like you see him slowly growing and developing and forming more of a character himself.
Yeah, I do hope that he does not get taken advantage of because of that.
That's the thing. Yeah.
That's a deep worry in me. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not here to cast any judgment beforehand, so.
Yeah, just makes you nervous.
Yeah.
But no, it's a good show. I'm liking that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed pretty cool.
Trying to think what else I watched. I watched Joshi Kosai.
Wasn't there an anime called that last season?
There was, except for this one's Joshi Kosai no Murazukai.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what is
and Zach, have you seen this one? Have you seen
Wasteful Days of High School Girls?
Oh, I've seen the first episode.
I love my little chaotic evil child.
Yeah, this show seems perfectly up your alley.
The whole cast is actually really great. I really enjoy it. I mean, I'm a little nervous about the teacher, but so far they're playing that character really well. It's another one of those things where it's like, haha, he's a pervert, but they're trying to play it off as like, I'm not interested in high school girls, I'm interested in college girls, so like, you guys are safe. And it's like, but the fact that you brought it up in the first place makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's a little worrisome.
Yeah.
Like
his character though is really good because he's just a very straight man character to these just chaotic creatures that are in his class.
Yeah, I like that first episode. He's just like, do your work, please. I just want to go home.
Begging you.
One of my favorites is his interview with the Chunbyo girl, and how he even like will work with her on that. It's like, okay, yeah, no, so you have a heart of darkness. All right, I understand that. But why did you draw on the back of your test? This is very good.
Yeah, it's one that I'm behind on. I only got to watch the first episode, but I really liked what I saw of it. So
it's a very fun show.
So the experience I had with the first episode was a pretty fun ride because, I mean, you guys know how I am with shows like this typically. It is like, it's like a feast or famine sort of thing. Where
yeah, it's very, very hit or miss for you.
This one, if we're gonna continue with the analogy, it was like a famine for the first like freaking like most of the episode. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I tried to be open with it, and I was like, I don't really like this show. And then, like, the jokes just kept rolling in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the part where they just make the jokes that are just random, and they're not very funny. And then they got to that one segment, like the segment near the end where they're talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So that segment was such a wild ride for me. So I was watching it and I was going, oh, okay, they made the joke once. Okay, that's okay. And then I'm like, it wasn't funny. And then they made it the second, the third time, and I was like, all right, this isn't funny. The bad thing is that they didn't stop.
I know and I was like, I'm trying to remember the context for this thing, but they made the same fucking joke like 6 times.
Yeah.
Do you want to be more specific about what the joke was?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to remember what the fuck it was. It wasn't memorable enough for me to remember what the joke itself was. It was more the fact that they did the same goddamn thing 6 fucking times in a row. And I'm like, oh my god, this show has some cojones. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Was this the one where she
well, she was talking about like her dream guy, or how she was gonna like meet her dream.
Oh,
that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other character was like, wait, didn't we already hear something like this? And then like the 4th or 5th time, she's like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, there's a theme here. They always say this. Why do they always say that same line? And I was like, oh, okay, hold on, I need to pay attention to this. And then not only that, the comedic timing of like the last couple times they said the joke were just so phenomenally good. That show made a complete 180 in my mind, and I was like, this just went from the dumbest show on earth to one of the dumbest shows on earth that has the funniest punchline in the entire world. And just like the comedic timing of that. Like, of that joke. And then not only that, they kept rolling with the joke after the punchline.
Yeah, there was no fear. They just kept going.
and then they made that last one that was a twist, and I was like, oh, it's finally different. All right. And then they just made the same joke again for the 6th time.
I loved how incredibly complex they got as they went on too.
Yeah, the building complexity was amazing. And before I had by the time I had realized what they were doing, I was like, this is brilliant. Like, as soon as I realized that, I was like, this is the smartest show. Like, they just galaxy brained the comedy on this show. And I was literally in tears laughing. I thought I was going to die. I had to pause the show, and I laughed for literally like 5 or 10 minutes over the last joke. Reason. And I was like, okay, maybe I should give this show a couple more episodes.
Yeah, Matt, I think you were one of the people that like first introduced it to me, because I saw a video of a specific scene later on with the the hyperspeed tongue licking or whatever.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, Matt, what the fuck is this? And you're like, oh yeah, it's this show. And I was like, oh.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, whoops.
So I was like, I can't believe I didn't hear about this. I'm gonna have to go watch it right now.
It's like a dumber version of Hinamatsuri.
It is. Yeah. It's a dumber version of Hinamatsuri with the main cast just being the 3 girls from Nichijou.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Fuck. You just described that show in a nutshell right there.
With like a dash of Mitsubishi colors in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It's got that chaotic
energy. Yeah.
It's got the chaos.
Yes.
The chaotic energy is real rife in this one.
Yeah, it's a very good show. It made me laugh a lot. So
I'm enjoying it so much. I'm so happy that I was turned on to this show.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Not to do a 180, but you want to know what's not a great slice of life? Well, I guess that's not fair, but so you know my policy with manga, right? I'll try anything once.
Oh no, where are we going with this?
Kyle.
I initially started reading Dumbbell, and I dropped it after like 2 chapters.
Well, I mean, it's heavy. I understand that.
Oh yeah, I just got too tired.
Like, how much can you...
Oh, that's a good one.
After like 5 reps, I just couldn't take it anymore.
Don't praise me for that.
No, that was good.
Stop.
That was brilliant.
No.
I mean, if you're going to talk about dumb shows, it does have dumb in the title, so...
No, it's actually really unfortunate because this show could be something great, but then it turns into something that's just utterly not. I was so excited to see a buff girls show where it's like, hey, it's okay for girls to exercise and to like try and stay fit. But instead it just becomes a fat shaming show, and it's so disappointing.
Oh, really?
Does it really? Like, I don't know. I've seen 3 episodes, and I didn't really get that vibe. I mean, I got it a couple times. You didn't get
the vibe of her constantly on this trek to lose weight when they give her weight and it's only 110 pounds.
Okay, like, but that happens in a lot of anime.
I know, but it's ridiculous to like formulate an entire show about I need to lose weight, I'm so fat, when she's not fucking fat. It's one thing to get fit because you're choosing to get fit, which is what some of these characters are doing. It's another thing to have the entire basis of your show be, I feel so fat even though there's literally nothing wrong with me.
To me, it just sounded like a contrivance to get the plot going. More than anything.
At the same time, it's old, man. The fact that we do see it in so many anime is just upsetting to me. It's done. It's overdone.
That's disgusting. That's fair, but I got
strong opinions about this.
I have strong opinions, like dumbbells, like getting stronger. Okay.
But no, I do want to give it a shot because, to be honest, whenever I was seeing just a direct adaptation, I actually dropped it most of the way through the first episode, and I felt bad after that because I was like, no, I should have given that more of a chance. But like, it's just not what I was wanting out of it, and it made me sad.
I'm personally just not bothering with shorts this season.
It's not a short.
It's not a short.
Dumbbell's not a short.
No, it's a full.
As surprising as that is, yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a full show.
That's
also apparently a lot of the fitness advice in it is not good.
I heard that it was okay with caveats. Like it's obviously not something you want to like follow rigorously, but it's not inaccurate in some regards.
I cannot believe it's not a fucking short.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, okay. I'm shook.
I don't know. I have not enjoyed it. I feel like it was unfair of me to drop the show so quick, though, so I want to try and give it a second chance. But I'm so disappointed because it could have been my Buff Girl show, and I'm like, oh, that would have been good, and I'm just not in love with it.
I think it's okay for what it is. It's not great, but it's okay. Like, I think Dokukobo is probably one of the better Dokukobo shows to come out in the past since New Game. It's probably problematic in the same way as New Game is, honestly.
Yeah.
But that's not bad. Like, it's like probably a 5 or 6 out of 10. Although, I mean, it just depends. It's
also similar to New Game in that there's a lot of ogling of the cast, which, I mean, it's a show about fitness, so that makes sense. But also at the same time, I feel like sometimes that can be overdone.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to disagree there, but I don't know. I like Machio as a character. He's good. He's very good.
He's very good. My fitness boy.
Like, the show is made 100 times better by him.
The fact that he looks like he weighs like 180, but then as soon as he starts flexing, he looks like fucking Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
He looks like the freaking Hulk just gained an additional like 8 muscles on each arm.
He has biceps on the biceps. It's so good.
I think.
Yeah, no, I'm alright with him because he's intentionally supposed to be ridiculous and funny.
I think it's one of those shows that it's just gonna be different for everybody. Like, yeah. I think it's mostly harmless. I say mostly with like italics. But
mostly harmless with the same type of mostly harmless that is the Hitchhiker's Guidebook. Just it's mostly harmless. I'm talking about something that's like highly venomous and going to kill you.
Oh, well, I really don't think it's that bad. Like, and honestly, it might be a hot take to say that it is bad, but it's okay. That's why I'm saying it's okay. I don't think it's not something that eviscerates a lot of anything, and I think that that's the general opinion on it, is that it's just not a lot of anything.
Okay.
Can I just say that I've been sitting here giggling to myself because, Matt, you said Dokukobo is the best show to come out of Dokukobo.
I didn't want to bring any mention to it.
Yeah. Did I say that? I mean,
yes, you did.
Well, I meant dumbbells. Okay, they both start with D.
Dokukobo is the best Dokukobo that Dokukobo has ever made.
Thank you for redeeming my idiot self. But I really do think it is one of the better Dokukobo shows in a while. Dumbbell.
Yeah, I'll give it a second chance. I just wasn't impressed.
I mean, it honestly sounds like you're not going to enjoy it. So maybe you should give up.
Yeah, just don't bother with it. It's okay to drop it.
What else has been going on with you guys here?
I watched Kochouki, Young Nobunaga.
What's that? Hold on.
Young Nobunaga. I wonder what it's about.
Hold on. I didn't see this one. Oh, it was that one. Never mind.
It's airing on Funimation.
I didn't watch this one. Okay.
No, and I don't expect you to. I don't really expect much anyone to. I watched it on a whim, and I've been keeping up with it with each new episode.
Isn't that kind of the worst, though? Like, you're not interested in a show, and then you watch it because you're like, this is going to be stupid, and then you just keep watching it.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, I'm not watching it because I think it's stupid or anything. Like, I enjoy watching it. I kind of don't know why. It's been a weird fascination of mine that there are so many goddamn anime about or revolving around Oda Nobunaga. To me, it's like if we made 50 different cartoons in the West about Abraham Lincoln and different iterations of him.
Well, we did make Abraham Lincoln, what was it, Vampire Hunter?
Yes, okay. But that's like one. And I can tell you a handful that have come out in the past like 5 years or so in anime. I don't know, like it's fun to watch. It's a lot of pretty boys doing Nobunaga stuff.
What does Nobunaga stuff consist of? Please tell me.
I mean, like there's a fair bit of historical revisionism in this, because I've been kind of watching it and then also like fact checking certain things here and there.
Yeah, I do see that in the synopsis for this, it says this anime will give a, in quotes, bold interpretation on the historical figure Oda Nobunaga.
Yeah, because like basically the idea of watching a show about Oda Nobunaga, but as a teenager before he was like super like wicked help, I'm having a stroke. Like master tactician Nobunaga is interesting to me. There are so many goddamn names in this fucking anime of retainers and of different heads of households and of daimyo and etc etc etc, and then characters that you met an episode ago fucking had their name changed because there's a time skip and they came of age, and it's like, okay, well, I used to be called this, but now I have a completely different name, so you're gonna have to call me this now. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with Japanese history? What are you doing? Why do you do this to yourselves? Why do you have a completely different name? There's no fucking reason for this. What are you doing?
Oh my god.
And it's so confusing.
It's making you so mad.
I don't. No. It's not making me mad. I'm just like, I don't remember anyone's fucking name except Nobunaga. Like it's fun to watch a Japanese history thing and have absolutely no context for it, because then I don't feel so bad about not knowing what's going on. Because like, if this was like something around like an anime around the Civil War or some shit, and I was watching it, had no idea what was going on, I don't have any excuse. I had history class in high school and middle school. I should know this stuff, but I don't. So,
can you imagine though if there actually was an anime based around the Civil War?
Oh man. Well, that's To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts, but we'll get to that later.
Oh, okay.
Roughly. I don't know. I don't expect anyone to watch Kochouki. It's not up either of y'all's alley. I kind of sometimes wonder why I'm still watching it, but again, I don't hate it. It's kind of a fun watch. It's a very low stakes show for me. So I know that's such a sell for this, but
I mean, if you're having fun with it, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, like if you want pretty boys or a period piece of some kind, it's here. So
it exists.
It exists.
Good God.
Thank you. That's a great way to end that. Wow.
I guess also if we want to talk about it exists, To the Abandoned Sacred Beasts. That's a show that exists.
So I don't know much about this one.
I didn't like it.
That's fair.
What is it? What is it even about?
So basically, take and again, like Matt, I swear to God, it's a fucking American frontier setting. There's a fucking saloon in it. Like it looks straight out of like a fistful of dollars.
Okay, I believe you.
I'll get a screenshot of the fucking saloon and get it to you.
So it's like a before the turn of the century America kind of thing with demons.
Well,
demons is not accurate.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm pulling on straws here. I can't even find it on any chart right now.
It's Katsute Kamidata Keimono Tachi A.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
It's Mappa. It's by Mappa. Okay.
Yeah. Really, location setting doesn't matter, but the basic premise is that there's been a big old war going on, and one side of the war decided to augment its soldiers with like super beast powers and serums and shit. Gotcha. And so soldiers have like animal beast powers. But as the war goes on, it starts to kind of corrupt them a bit, and so they kind of sort of lose their minds a little bit. And then the war abruptly ends, and then these soldiers who have these beast powers and have been losing their minds have to return to polite society, and it doesn't go so well. So the commander of the squad is still pretty okay mentally and has essentially made it his mission to hunt down the rest of his squadron, to put them out of their misery and to make sure that they don't harm society. And there's some like other subplot of like, my best friend killed my love interest, and I have to enact revenge on him as well. I don't know, like it's kind of interesting. I'm not super invested in it.
That's kind of how I felt too after I watched it. So
one of those things that has a neat idea but poor execution.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is that it's this season's Fairygon for me. I think the premise is very interesting. It is also like a older wartime and post-war kind of setting, but it doesn't manage to make me really care about the factions involved that much. I don't know. Again, like it's interesting, and I'll be happy to like keep up with it as long as I'm not falling behind on anything else. But
I don't know. It just pitched an interesting idea to me, and then like I watched it and I said, this is not what I expected, and I was like, this is just kind of like another variation on this genre that I really hate, and I just opted out of it.
Yeah, and that's fair, because as interesting as it is, it has not really made any serious attempts to show that it is putting forth anything that is really that worthwhile to invest your time in.
Mm-hmm. And I did say genre, but I meant like wartime setting. Wartime setting is not really a genre, but
we get the idea. So I don't know. It's interesting, but it's also very passable.
Gotcha.
So
well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I feel like a little bit that's how I was feeling about. What do you even call this? Mom MMORPG.
Oh, we're gonna go into the isekai block now. Mom isekai.
Mom isekai.
I've managed to avoid all isekai this season except Copcraft.
I like this.
I'll be happy to have y'all fill me in.
Oh fuck, Copcraft.
You didn't even acknowledge my genius there. It's not mine.
You stole that joke. Yeah.
I stole it.
Yeah, Mom isekai is I enjoyed the first episode. I thought that it was an interesting setup, especially, you know, how it's the dynamics between the two characters. Like, this whole adventure is trying to just get them to know each other better, and I was like, okay, I can see where this could be cool.
And the two characters being our main character and his mom?
And his mom, yeah.
Okay.
But it's, I don't know, it's also one of those isekais that, like, every couple of minutes it just, like, rubs me the wrong way, and I'm like, ooh, oh, this could go bad.
Is it like SAO, but mom has big boobs?
And I wouldn't really say it's like that.
Not even that. It's more, because it's more slice of life. It's more just having fun with this adventure.
Really?
They're not stuck there, to my knowledge. Like, they're just trying out a new MMORPG, where you get sucked into the world.
MMORPG.
Isn't that something that they actually say in the show?
Yes,
too?
that is.
Yeah, no, and so like there's not really any high stakes or drama in that sense. In fact, they're beta testers. This isn't even the full blown game. They're like messing around with other people that managed to make it into the beta test
With their moms.
Wait, hold on. So everyone is in it with their mom?
Everyone is in it with their moms.
That's part of the joke.
It's part
Oh
of
my
It's
God.
part of the joke. That's the thing though, is that like it's this show that like there are some aspects of it that I'm like, I fucking love this joke, and then every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's an isekai.
Well, yeah, I guess it has one of those trappings. Like, it's not like bad enough to like make you not want to watch the show because it's just so freaking like kind of ridiculously funny,
right?
And like it actually has some genuine good moments and like some good thoughts behind it. But then occasionally it'll just be like, well, like you kind of see like the trappings of the genre, like, and by
not
that,
to mention
like,
it's like it's desperately trying to make it apparent that like, don't worry, there's not going to be any incest, but then every other fucking scene is just like, look, my big-titted woman who's my mom, and it's like, oh man.
But it's clear that there's nothing's gonna happen. But it's just
but
like
nothing's gonna happen.
They want you to be sure though that you know it, but it's not.
It's not that kind of show. Although we may kind of write it like that show, it's not. Stop saying that. Like that's basically what
This
saying.
author is very passive aggressive, or. And it's like I'm not really sure what kind. You're giving me mixed signals here, buddy. I'm not really sure, but
it's
like,
the type of situation where he was like, I don't want to fuck my mom, and like everyone's like, okay, we didn't even bring it up. Why are you saying that?
That's kind of that statement right there is exactly what this show is like.
Yeah.
This show sounds like a fucking nightmare.
It's a beautiful nightmare.
Yeah, I'll say that at least. It has merit, even if it's not always the greatest merit.
Yeah, something is there, and I don't know if it's genius, stupidity, or like something really bad, but it's got something there. And
at the very least, all the mom aspects of this are fucking hilarious. Like how she's just by design overpowered at the start, and the main character isn't. And she can like do all this bullshit that nobody else can because she's a mom.
Well, and then there was also the scene where the main character's like, all right, I want these characters for my party. And his mom's like, no, wrong, nope, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she was like, she picked a candidate and she's like, look, this one has a discount. We gotta have her. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, at some points I was like, this could be my mom. Like, right here. And that idea is both interesting and sometimes horrifying. I'm like, oh my god. But that's the kind of show it is. It's kind of like this mangled monster that is entertaining, at least. You're gonna get some kind of entertainment out of it. It's not always good entertainment,
right?
But it sure is a show that exists.
You know, you've done such a good job pitching this. I think I'm gonna give this a go.
You got to give it at least one episode.
Yeah, give it at least an episode.
Yeah, no. Like I'm at least curious, and the fact that I have been imparted with the wisdom that everyone is in with their mom, and it's not just our main character.
It's
and
all
his
moms
mom.
here.
Like the fact that is
now.
a part of this whole thing is, like I have been transformed, and I have to see what this is all about now.
We're all mothers now. Oh gosh.
Oh yeah. Man, that sounds
have some fun with that one, boyo.
That's it's very interesting. Very interesting show.
Yeah, all right.
On the contrary, Mao-sama Retry.
I didn't bother with it.
Less interesting show.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much stereotypical. Main character is game creator, owner, administrator, whatever. and he's shut his game down, and then he gets put in his own game, or at least a version of his own game that someone else. But he still has like all the admin privileges, which is kind of weird.
Sure.
And anyway, it's just one of those fantasy isekai shows that's just, it's there. It's okay. It's not amazing. It's kind of got some good moments. It's aight.
Okay.
If you like that kind of show, it's okay. Like,
it's one of those where if you enjoy the isekai genre as a genre, you'll probably just like the show, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like good or bad in that way.
Yeah. That's all it is. Okay. It's just straight isekai. And it's got some good moments, so just gonna cool. I didn't really have much to say about it, but then that's pretty much how I feel about it. So there you go.
Isekai adjacent, the daughter show. What is it? If it's for my daughter, I'd kill a demon lord.
Yes, that one.
That one, I'm so nervous. I have heard some interesting things about where it could potentially go, but so far it just seems very innocent and in like dealing with these issues that it's bringing up, and so I'm nervous.
You're being hella vague. What issues are it bringing up?
Well, it's just like I like this idea of that is this one, right? Am I looking at?
Yeah, it's the right show. If you're talking about the one where it goes that direction, like Usagi Drop direction, yeah. If you're talking about that, yeah.
Apparently,
right.
everyone is already who's going into this is like already in the know that it starts getting a little questionable when it comes towards the end, but so far of the episodes that I've seen, I've enjoyed it because it's just a nice, like, I've never been a dad, I don't know what I'm doing, but at least I have the support of these people around me, and they kind of like, it takes a village to raise to raise this girl, and so I think that's really nice, and it's sweet. Like,
it didn't seem malicious, at least the first episode I watched.
No, I heard the last episode that came out, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it starts to get into some darker territory of like dealing with institutional racism and stuff like that. Whenever you're a child and like having to deal with that, but from what I've been told, it manages to pull that off pretty well, and so like, even if it gets a little dark like that, that's fine, as long as they don't drop the ball. But apparently, inevitably, it will drop the ball if it chooses to go there in the story. But they only have 12 episodes, so who knows if they'll make it.
Yeah,
right.
Because again, Usagi Drop sure as shit didn't manage to get that far in its anime run.
Right.
Yeah.
So it could be the same thing.
So everyone's like,
for that.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, it's a Usagi Drop. What a great anime. Don't read the manga. Just ignore that.
Yeah.
Correct. So, I made that mistake.
But yeah, I'm having fun with that one because I enjoy stories like that where it's like a father-daughter, father-son, and like the journey together of like dealing with that in a family situation. I like those. So.
Yeah, for sure. It's like some Yatsuba style shit.
Yeah, exactly. Or even if it's like a mother-daughter, mother-son, I like those too. So I'm excited to keep watching it, but I'm just gonna be nervous when it starts heading towards like episode
9. Fingers crossed.
Well, I hope for you that it works out and it's not bad.
Yeah.
As far as other shows go, I watched Ensemble Stars. That's the mobile game male idol show.
Well, thank you for diving in for that. How is it?
I kind of liked it, honestly.
I mean, I expected as much. I don't know of an idol show that you've watched that you haven't liked.
Idol training school.
Yeah.
Game. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's just like seems like just a hijink show. It's like Male Idol Master. Like, it's kind of
fun.
That thing.
That's fun.
It's pretty fun.
If you want a show about your good boys becoming good idols, like, cool.
Yeah. I watched this other show. It's not an idol show.
Okay.
It's called Nakanohito. The one within, I think, is the English title. Let me check.
Okay.
The one's within.
Oh yeah, the one with the fucking llama dude.
Yeah.
Or is he an alpaca?
Yeah, he's an alpaca.
I'm sorry. I have deeply offended this man.
Yeah. So the episode started out with a giant panda about to eat all our streamer guys and girls that got transported into a death game, and ruled by an alpaca dude. And they almost got eaten by a panda, and then the main character just decided to go and hug the panda, and it was okay. And I think that pretty much describes like the entire show.
Do you know anything about this, Zach?
I know that it looks a lot like this seems to have like some serious fucking Danganronpa assassination classroom energy to it.
I feel like they've been inspired, yeah, but
it's not too bad.
Yeah, but
I can't get out of my head just the image of a man in a full suit, and it's just an alpaca on the head.
Yeah,
he's
about as dumb as it looks too. I actually really like the show though.
Oh yeah.
It does strike the same kind of like Danganronpa feel that I really enjoy. And because like as I said, the panda was about to attack the main character, and he goes up and he's like, "Hold on, guys." He's like, "I'm gonna stop it." And then he goes up to the panda and he's like, "It just had allergies, guys. Come on." And everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
All right.
Oh, also, I guess I should explain the premise a little bit. So the premise of the game is that basically these are all streamers of like different genres that get sucked into this death game.
Oh, okay. So it's not just game streamers. It's like streamers that are like a makeup streamer or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, from different sections. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
neat.
They're like, okay. So they got their own like little specialties and all this, and the alpaca guy, because I don't remember his name, but that's what I'm going to call him. The alpaca dude says, "All right, here's how you make it out of the game. You got to get an X amount of views," because I don't remember the number. It's either like 10 million or 1 million or...
Oh, it's some dude putting this on for like all the views and the advertising money.
Which, yeah. So he's like, "All right, you guys, you can all get out of the game." He's like, you just got to hit that view count. And and basically it is kind of a thing like hey, basically there's a bunch of like rules to it. Like they discourage like they gotta like pass trials either together or on their own, and if they don't, like they can like get barred from like...
Oh, how fun. It's Survivor Twitch stream edition.
It almost is. But anyway,
it sounds really fun.
It does.
It actually is really good.
Yeah.
And it's just entertaining just to watch. It is a death game kind of environment, but it doesn't seem like there's any like real like no one's gonna kill each other, because I think they kind of wrote that out with one of the rules.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it sounds like there's a possibility that people could die some way, but I don't think people can kill each other without like a severe penalty. So it's like a possibility, but it could happen, like kind of thing.
Right. It's one of those things that's like, well, it's a possibility, but like we're not going to encourage it, but like we've talked about it, so it's going to be used as a dramatic point later on.
Probably. But I mean, honestly, it's kind of just it's a show with its own charms, and it's honestly kind of interesting. So
cool. Okay.
Actually, I can say safely that I've watched a lot of shows this season, and I haven't gotten like super angry at any show, which is pretty impressive in its own way.
Yeah, for like a whole season. Yeah.
Okay, and I even tried to invoke that myself. Like I was like, okay, well, what show can I watch that would make me so angry that I just won't even like want to like exist anymore? And I I didn't find one. Even after all the shows I watched. So
damn.
Okay.
Yeah, but how many of the shorts did you get through?
I got through all the shorts, actually.
Oh, okay.
I watched Strawberry Cannibalism, the anime. I watched Magician Girl, the anime, and I watched Survivor, the anime. And I honestly didn't care for any of them as the shorts, but it did make me mad.
The Magic Club anime, I had read a bit of the manga on that one, and it didn't really strike me either.
That show was kind of garbage, but that's just me.
How was did you so you watched the Moe statue anime?
No, I didn't watch that one. Oh. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either.
Yeah, is anyone licensing it over here at all? It does not seem like
I tried to find it on YouTube. I tried to find it on the Kitty website. I tried to find it everywhere, and I couldn't find it. Jeez. Anyway,
I'm so sad because I really wanted to watch an anime about a Moe statue.
Now, however,
yeah, I mean, like me too.
If you guys want to watch an acid trip, Hakata Mentakai Pirarekako-chan, that's a ride.
You just said
some
nonsense.
Words. Yeah, and
well, let me tell you, she's like a market girl. She goes around and she helps people around the marketplace. Except there's
this is the one that you said was Strawberry Cannibalism.
Yeah. I literally watched strawberries eat themselves.
Hold on a fucking minute. I gotta find this now.
Okay, so wait. Two strawberries eat, one eats the other, or...
literally, one of the strawberries makes a comment. The other strawberry takes a bite out of them and the other strawberry goes, "Ow, why'd you do that?" And then the strawberry replies, tasty.
It's fucking horrifying.
And I'm like, what the fuck did I just watch?
It's like Babby's first cannibalism.
It's literally
edutainment.
It's like somebody took Uehara and the idea and made it weird.
Okay, I mean,
now Uehara was already weird, but they took that idea and made it weird. So I'll let you figure out what that means on your own. But
okay.
But yeah.
I'm really scared now watching this PV. I'm like, oh no.
God. I think the worst part of it is that it's played off all cutesy. It's like
nothing's wrong.
Nobody acknowledges it at all. And I'm like, hello, a strawberry just ate another strawberry.
I'm gonna be real. This sounds like it has some real Jinrui energy.
There's a kid that bullies the townspeople called Ramen-kun or something. So, I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird acid trip. You need to just,
put a little strip on your tongue and then just have some fun.
Yeah, it's literally like 5 minutes. I think it is like a wild ride of the most 5 minutes of your entire life. Why do drugs when you can watch this anime? Choose anime, not drugs. Hashtag.
Okay, well, that's you know what? Maybe I'll get drunk and watch it. How about that?
That sounds like a happy
could be fun. Yeah.
Just, it's like whenever maybe I shouldn't say this. I had some friends in my Japanese film class in college that they found out that we were going to be watching Spirited Away, and so they just got really fucking high right before watching it. And it was so funny turning around every now and then and seeing them. They're like, "That's colorful." They just had big grins on their face, like they were dogs that just got adopted. It's so great.
Wow,
Jesus.
Alright, so I'm running out of stuff that I've actually seen. Zach, do you want to talk about Copcraft finally?
Oh, yeah.
Please do that before I have to reveal the last couple things I watched.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's okay.
I am a huge fan of two things: buddy cop duos and also modern, like kind of like
urban fantasy,
Shadowrun stuff like that, in which you have like elves and all this other stuff, and it's in an urban setting. Fucking love that. Yeah. That is my jam. So
the idea of a show that is basically it's future San Francisco and a fucking Pacific Rim portal opened up and there's fairies and elves and shit now.
Yeah.
Is fascinating, and turning that into like a cop procedural show.
Yeah.
Ooh, mwah. Like chef kiss.
Yeah, that is some beautiful shit right there.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting though that because they are fairies and elves and different things like that, apparently their world is very more like that whole like medieval kind of like knights and kings and swords and sorcery, which is cool to see that clashing with like, you know, guns, drugs, and just all this other stuff from our world.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is kind of interesting.
Yeah, and they even and I like the little bits of like fish out of water that they have for what's her name?
Tilarna Exadilica.
Because like he's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna say that. Like in the first episode, Kay's just like, no, I'm not doing that.
yeah. Our Protect K is an absolute shitbag.
Nice. In the best of ways.
Absolute fucking garbage heap of a person.
But yeah, no. So like, it's interesting to have these little like fish out of water moments where like Tilarna is like interested in being like, oh, things are different. Like, what's this? But then also still being completely capable herself, and also showing like the aspects from her world that Kay just doesn't pick up on.
Mm-hmm.
I like that back and forth between the two.
Yeah, it's just it's fun to see a crime based sort of show. It's given me a very slight like Psychopaths adjacent kind of feel, in just that it's a kind of darker, gritty, like guns and drugs and crime kind of thing.
Yeah.
But adding those sorts of like swords and magic shit into it very much scratches that urban fantasy itch that I've got.
Oh fuck!
And it's a lot of fun.
I just realized it's Rush Hour if Jackie Chan was an elf.
Oh my god.
I think that's it. We can't say anything else about the show. That's it.
If you want to see that,
if you want a light adaptation of Rush Hour as an anime, go watch Copcraft. Fuck me.
Oh, fuck.
So what I'm hearing is Copcraft is good.
It's good.
Copcraft is great.
Yeah.
It sounds like a better Dimension W, which is good, because that show wasn't good. So
I didn't bother with Dimension W.
That's
so
several seasons
I
ago.
won.
So yeah, you won. Yep. Congratulations.
I win.
I lost.
Let's see here.
Unfortunately.
I've watched one more show this season. I'm curious to hear what the other ones that you're ashamed that you've watched are, Matt.
Oh, no, I want you to go first. This is a power move right now.
Okay. All right. The only other show that I watched this season, I guess, again, aside from Are You Lost, but I don't really care to talk that much about it.
Okay.
It's all right. It's not bad for a short.
What is the Survivor one? Like the survival anime?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The 4 high school girls are stranded on a desert island.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
It's fun, and I kind of learned a few survival things here and there, but it's also... It just kind of is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not invested in any of the characters, and you're not intended to be. So, I ended up watching Lord El-Melloi II, Rail Zeppelin Grace Note.
Please tell me what you thought about this.
So, fun part, I didn't know that this had anything to do with the Fate franchise.
Uh-oh. Oh boy, I bet you were about as lost on the first episode as I was then.
That's the thing, is that, like, I initially was going to watch that, and then I saw that it was, like, characters are from Fate, and I'm like, okay.
I watched, so, Zach, did you watch episode 0 first?
I watched episode 0
first. Okay, so you thought maybe that would give you some context, right?
Again, here's the thing. When I watched episode 0, I didn't know it was part of the Fate franchise.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't, right? Like...
Yeah,
there's no way you would think it was, and I knew it was. I knew it was a Fate show going into it in the first episode, and I watched it, and I was like, I have no idea what's going on right now, like, because somebody told me that it's okay to watch it if you don't have any Fate knowledge, and I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. You got to get into Fate sometime, and then I watched it, and I said, this literally told me nothing. What is happening?
Yep. In terms of it being a piece of Fate media, it gave me very little context. I was able to pick up enough of it from watching episode 0 and episode 1 to kind of get the gist of what Fate is kind of loosely about. But the fact of the matter is, despite the fact that like episode 1 was an extended, like, here's what happened after this one certain event in the Fate series, and here's how we do this. Despite the fact that it didn't really give any like context that meant anything to me, I was still pretty enthralled by the action sequences and the kind of rapport the characters have with one another. Mm-hmm. Like, it did a really good job of actually getting me kind of invested in them.
Right.
Especially episode 0, because I love the idea of it being this kind of fucking magical whodunit kind of shit.
Right.
And, oh man, like the core episode 2, where it's like the closed house murder mystery episode, that's what really sold it for me.
Oh, really?
I mean, like, to be fair, episode 0 was what really sold it for me. Mm-hmm. But, like, episode 2 kept me wanting to keep going.
Okay.
So, despite the fact that I have, like, no context for the Fate series whatsoever, I'm still really into Lord El-Melloi. It's a lot of fun. I cannot fucking believe that that our main dude literally says, "Who done it? Why done it?" and shit like that. It's some of the most endearing shit ever, and I love it.
Yeah. See, I like mysteries, and I like murder mysteries, and so like if they delve into that a little bit, and then also just having this like vibe or power of this castle, I'm all right with that. I was just nervous because I don't know anything about Fate.
Yeah. Okay. So did you end up just not watching it?
I ended up just not watching it. Yeah.
Okay. Watch episode 0 and then decide if you're interested.
Okay.
Because if you liked episode 0 and you can get through episode 1, again, I've only seen up through episode 2, an episode or so behind, but from what I've watched, it has a pretty consistent tone and feel for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to give that a shot.
I really do like his character, though, and the characters that surround him. Like, I think there's a really interesting story there.
Yeah.
I just really just need some context. Like... So I think in the end it's going to have to be a Fate 0 watch and then watch this because I literally just don't understand it. And it's going to like kill my enjoyment of the show. Like at some point, it's just...
That's fair.
It is just not going to work. So I just need to watch Fate 0, which I should have watched like 5 years ago, but I didn't. And...
that'd be what it'd be,
just
man.
Need to just get through that and just watch some Fate stuff. Because somebody said that Fate 0 is really all you need for context for the first episode. So,
yeah, I've heard that. I've heard people say that you absolutely have to watch the like 2006 Fate Stay Night.
No.
I've heard people say, "Don't you touch that with a 20-foot pole." Etc. Etc. So like I'm just not touching any of it for the time being.
Fate is just crazy. So, and honestly, at this point, I'm kind of like, I just kind of feel interest in the fact that I've gotten this far in anime without ever watching it. It's kind of impressive.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, well, I've gotten this far. I haven't been missing that much. Do I really need to?
It's one of those things where, like, oh my gosh, just like, I feel like we could almost be disowned for not having seen Fate.
I don't know, man. It's a...
Yeah, probably, actually. It is probably one of those core essential shows, huh? Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, well, Matt, you asked me. Now I want to hear what you watched.
Okay, so I watched the other Idol show, the Restage blah blah blah.
The Restage Dream Days?
Yeah, it was okay. I liked the first episode. It was comfy and idols, and idols isn't an adjective, but it is now. I don't know. It's just gave me a sense of happiness.
Okay.
Just a comfy idol show for you.
Yeah. So that one's good. I watched something else. Hold on.
Oh fuck! There was a show on here that I forgot that I watched.
Oh really?
Yeah. Machikado Mazoku.
Oh, that seems like a Kyle show.
It is very much a Kyle show.
Wait, hold on.
The demon girl next door.
Oh, that's super Kyle core.
Are
you kidding me?
The setup is actually pretty great because it's very much just a slice of life. But it's this girl wakes up and suddenly realizes that she has horns and a tail, and she asks her mom, and her mom's like, "I'm just so proud of you," and she's like, "What the fuck, mom? What are you saying?" and she's like, we're descendants of like a demon lord from like way back, and like finally like our power has come back enough that you have transformed a little bit. Now you gotta go kill a magical girl so we can get our power back. Because like not only because they were cursed by a magical girl forever ago that sealed away their power, and also made sure that they only got a certain amount of money per month. So that they live in poverty.
That's so fucked up.
And so she's ready to just duke it out with a magical girl, but then she finds this magical girl, and one, she's kind of from a rich family, but that's not important to the story, because what is important to the story is that she's just fucking amazing and badass and insanely powerful. Mm-hmm. And there's just no possible way. But instead of being a dick about it, like, it's just this constant back and forth between these two characters of the magical girl just wants to be friends because she doesn't have a lot of friends. She's not a bubbly and cheerful character. She's just kind of like a loner off on her own. And so she's like, she's helping to train this demon girl to beat her in a battle. So it's just like, desperately trying to help her out so that she's stronger and can kill magical girl, knowing full well that she wants to kill her. She's like, that's fine, that's all right. I just need a friend.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the demon girl is like just constantly tsundere, like, thanks for helping me, but I'm still gonna kill you.
That's actually really good. You might have just sold me on this show.
It's also funny
Congratulations.
Because demon girl, her two friends are just total asses to her like the entire time. They didn't even blink whenever she suddenly showed up with horns and tail. They're like, oh, fucking cool, all right.
Wow.
All right, I like I'm here for it.
It's a fun little slice of life. It's I mean, it's another one of those like fucking nothing shows, but it's just a fun little twist on the whole like demon lord kind of thing.
You say it's a nothing show, but what you described is like everything that my life is missing. So thanks.
I say nothing show just because I know that not everybody's into like slice of life as much as me. So. But no, yeah, I'm enjoying this one.
That seems nice.
Good.
Yeah.
It does. It seems like a nice little breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Swolls, did you finally find that show that you're trying to track down?
I'm going through the list to make sure I didn't miss anything. Because, okay. I'm gonna tarnish my entire reputation right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
So I watched Hensuki.
Hensuki.
You probably skipped over it because you said, wow, that looks like ass garbage. And then you probably just said, well, okay, bye. I was trying to find...
I can't even find it on here.
You can't find it.
Then how did you find it?
It's got a long title.
Oh, hentai demosuki nata.
Yeah. Okay.
You're saying some words. Does it start with an H?
Starts with a K.
Starts with a
Kawaii
K.
kabera hentai demosuki na. Oh, it's this one. Matt,
why?
I did it, guys.
No. Because I specifically even remember that I clicked on it, I looked at it, and then I read in the synopsis towards where it said that he got a girl's panties, and he had to, check everybody's panties.
Matt, it's panties nisekoi. It's bad.
Yes, I know that, okay? I know it's bad. I was trying to find a bad show.
Were you?
Yeah. And then I watched it.
He did say earlier that he was.
And I watched it. Oh, but the fun part is the synopsis doesn't even get to some of the weirder parts.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, the way Zach described it is pretty accurate. It's that.
It's panty nisekoi.
Yeah, so I guess since I brought it up, I'm just going to have to inevitably talk about it. So... I applaud the main character for being absolutely disinterested in everything that's going on around him. I think that's... But I also understand because... So the first episode, it goes through the plot there that you see in the synopsis. But the synopsis left out a key essential part of the show. That I think is probably going to change your opinion, and by that I mean it's probably just going to make
of you.
Yeah, it probably is. So I mean it's already probably pretty bad, but let's.
So all right, go over. What is this?
All right, so in the first episode, he learns that he's trying to discover who the heck's panties these are. This is just going to be weird to describe. So,
just push through it.
So he's going around and this main character dude, his best friend is telling him dude, you gotta use these methods to try to figure it out. You gotta be smart about it. And all these ways of deduction. And he's okay. He's I just want to find out who really likes me. He's I just want to know this. And he's going through and he's well, is it this girl? And every episode I've watched thus far has just been targeting a different girl. Who is this girl? And do they like me? So he tries to find them out in different ways, but unfortunately for him, he finds out very peculiar things about each character.
Okay.
In the first episode, he discovers that one of the girls wants to be treated like a dog all the time. And the main character says, no, that's weird. Get away from me.
I mean, I applaud him at least for that.
He's kind of...
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yums as far as their fetishes go, but probably not the best one to go with.
Well, yeah, and it's so funny because I say funny, but it's funny in quotes. That and that's the way each of these episodes is gone. He goes to pursue try to find out more about this love interest that's pursuing him because he keeps getting love letters and all this stuff. And he's and he goes to find a different girl that's in his club, and he's finding very bad things about them, and he's totally not okay with any of them. So, another girl, he turns out that she just wants him to be her slave. Literally. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
So, it's one of these ecchi comedies where it's isn't it funny that this girl who seems prime and proper actually has this, deep-seated fetish?
Kind of. I just kind of applaud the main character's like approach to it, and he's just like, literally, I don't want any of this. He's like, I literally just want to find out who wrote this stupid letter, and I don't want to be a part of any of these shenanigans.
Okay.
But
I'm just getting flashbacks to my roommate when she accidentally got to that one party.
Oh my god.
She was like, yeah, okay, I need to go home. But yeah, anyway, sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's kind of what this show is. But the bad thing is that I end up just keep watching episodes, and I don't really know why.
Matt, why?
No.
I'm drawn in by this fascination of, okay, what kind of horrible shit is gonna happen next? Like, I don't know. It's like the worst kind of cliffhanger. It's like watching a bad soap opera and then like getting drawn into the story, and you're like, I don't even like this. Why?
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
But it's just weird because I'm like, I don't really like any part of this show, but I guess the premise has me interested? Question mark.
The mystery, not necessarily the panties.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the mystery, I guess. Yeah. I said the premise, but I mean like the synopsis cliffhanger.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the who done it and the why done it.
Yeah. Well, this show definitely is asking me why done it. Definitely.
I would imagine.
In more ways than one. Like, who designed this plot, for one? Like, because this feels like a horrendous, like, bait territory. Like, I don't know. I feel like every episode, I feel like I'm getting baited. And
you're getting bamboozled at every turn.
yeah. It's just...
Well, I mean,
God.
Hey, you were looking for a bad anime, so...
Yeah.
You found one.
This is true.
The bad thing is that I can't, because the animation is actually, like, super good. Like...
Yeah, it looks very
It's
pretty.
actually a very pretty show. And I'm like, this show does not deserve this. But I'm like, but the animation is probably... There's just a lot of well-animated shows this season, but I was like, wow, I did not expect this one to be one of them. Like,
it's funny how that goes.
it's just how it goes. Anyway, that's a show. Just figured y'all should know that.
It is indeed a show. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks. I'm glad that my opinion of me has not been tarnished enough, so I just gotta keep spilling out that I watch garbage like this.
I mean, it happens. We all watch garbage stuff every now and then.
Yup.
Yeah, no, I mean, my policy on manga, I think, speaks for this. So, yeah. Well, what else have you gotten up to here, Matt?
Is there anything else you've been watching that you need to tell us about?
It's okay. This is a confession.
That was more like a confessional than it felt like, more than anything. I just like I can't just keep
It's
this.
a character defense.
I just can't keep this to myself, because like it'll be worse if someone else just is like it's harder to explain when it's on your list, and then somebody asks you, "You're watching that?" And I'm like,
Say why?
yeah, it's a little bit harder to defend. So, anyway, I mean, I haven't really watched anything else. Nothing of note. I'm interested.
I forgot to watch Accelerator.
I'm not caught up enough to watch Accelerator.
It has 69%.
It's fine.
Nice.
If it follows anything like the manga, it's going to be it's going to be its own like one-off interesting thing. It's separate from some of the
So, is it gonna go?
stuff.
Is it gonna go over the sisters arc again for the third time from a different perspective?
No. I don't think. I don't know. It's been a long ass time since I read that manga. Fuck.
Because it
but
kind of looks like it might.
A certain scientific accelerator. I think it's going to go over probably a little bit of the sisters arc, but like, I think.
Of course it does.
But I think it's like from the perspective of like it's already happened.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because from all the promotional thing, it shows Accelerator in his damaged form after the fact, where he like had the cane, and he was like, and he had to have those like earbuds in so he doesn't like.
Oh yeah, it kind of does. The synopsis kind of does frame it like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think from what I know, what I remember from the manga, which I assume is what it's basing off of. Yeah. It's like something after the fact. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's happening like behind the scenes that you just didn't see in Index or Railgun.
So we might get flashbacks to it at best. So that's
might
good.
Might get
I'm glad.
to it,
I don't really want to watch that for a third time.
Yeah, I know.
I guess technically I would have experienced it for several this time. I don't know how many times because I read the manga and then I watched Railgun like 3 times and then watched Index like twice. So. I know the sisters arc is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We don't need it again. So, yeah, I forgot to watch it too, but I'm glad it's out there and apparently better than Index 3.
Okay, I mean,
really?
like, it's not setting a high bar.
I mean, I don't know a lot about Index 3, unfortunately. I just heard that was somebody's one-off comment, and I was like, okay, I didn't really hear that much egregious stuff about Index 3, but I mean, it's Index, so who knows?
Right.
So,
to be fair, I didn't hear anything about Index 3.
Which it's so funny because it took like 8 years for them to come out with that shit, and then nobody talked about it, which is kind of weird. I guess it really had just missed the timing in that regard.
Yeah, there was hype for so long, and then it finally just kind of died down.
Yeah, it just went on for too long. They should have given it to us when we wanted it. Oh well.
Oh well, indeed.
I know that coming in September, at least initially, there was going to be a Violet Evergarden movie.
I think that's. Ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that one's
really
going to be
sure.
up in the air, I think, for right now. Because that's supposed to be next month, and I'm like...
Yeah, I know that everything that KyoAni has been working on, nothing has been canceled. I just know things have been pushed back.
Kochouki put out an article says that the Violet Evergarden Gaiden, is that it?
Yeah.
Yes.
It says that it's still going to release it as planned.
Okay.
Wow, holy shit.
Well, they did.
Well,
they did.
To be honest, though, like with a movie like that, they usually have that shit like already.
It's probably
pre-made.
already done.
Yeah.
But also, apparently they did. I don't know if you guys saw that news story, where they did recover all that data off that server.
I did see that. Yeah,
Yep.
they were
100%
recover
recovery, which
everything.
is pretty.
I
That's
think
miraculous.
I think they said they were also able to recover even some of the actual like drawings too.
Maybe. I mean, the drawings, if they were saved on the server, then yeah.
No, I mean like the physical ones.
Oh, I don't know about that. From what I heard, it's like everything was gone that was in physical form, but I don't know. They could have found something, so who knows?
Yeah. I'm just glad that out of this they were at least able to salvage something.
Yeah.
Because Jesus Christ, like
that is
that was just insult to injury.
That was just not good. Nothing that happened there was good.
No.
So
I know the GoFundMe is still going, so if you can toss some bucks their way,
yeah,
it'd be hugely
great time to
appreciated.
plug. Please donate to that if you can, because oh my god, there's 100 links out there to ways that you can donate. They got their bank account now that you can just straight donate to.
Yeah, it's like Sentai had the one set up, but then now KyoAni has one that goes directly to them.
And then a bunch of anime sites are doing stuff. Like, and of course you can always buy digital prints on KyoAni's website. Like, there's just there's all sorts of ways to donate.
And of all studios to happen to, it had to be KyoAni.
Yeah, that's
seriously.
Like,
freaking
Christ.
sucks. It's crazy.
Well,
Anyway, I guess they raised 1 billion yen as of a couple days ago.
yeah.
So that's a lot of money.
It is, but at the same time, they also have to like completely rebuild a studio.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, hey,
fortunately hire people.
Yeah, I mean that's it's not enough. It's not nearly enough, but it's gonna be a starting point.
Yeah. But it's good to see this big fucking messy disjointed community we have actually come together to fucking do something good for once.
Yeah.
Well, as far as the season goes, is there anything else that you guys have seen?
No. I mean, I don't think so.
I'm personally looking forward to the small little short OVA that they're coming out for Tatsukuni no Shoujo. Just because I love that manga to death. It's such a beautiful story. Do you guys know anything about it? The girl from the other side?
Isn't that the one that was made by the author of Ancient Magus Bride?
I don't know if it was made from the author, but there's definitely been a few crossover things that they've done. Because
it's like the little white girl and the black like crow looking thing, right?
Yeah, the Wendigo. Yeah, it's a very interesting story. Just because it's a little human girl that has already been found and has been living with this Wendigo character, and they can never touch, because if he does, then she can become corrupted by his curse, and so like it's just them having each other whenever they don't have anything else, and like living outside of civilization because humanity abandoned her. And so it's a very dark fairy tale setting. They have to deal with a lot of other corrupted and cursed creatures in the wilds, but it's just such a fascinating tale. I love it so much. So I was very, very excited to see that they were going to do a little short on it. I saw a little preview of the animation too, and it was fucking phenomenal. Like apparently they're going real hard on that, making something that like looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks actually really cool, and of course Wit's doing it, so that's always a positive in that direction.
Nice.
So
if only we could get an adaptation of it.
Well, I mean, you're getting one episode, and I hope that maybe High Dive or something will license it.
Yeah. So
I mean that'll be good, if that's the case, because then I mean that's how Ancient Magus Bride got started. So was the same way. So let's hope if it does well, then who knows? Maybe it's a possibility.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
But yeah, no, that's it for me. I had nothing else that was either looking forward to or have seen.
Yeah, I'm fresh out.
Yeah, there's always the airing stuff. Of course, I think Carol on Tuesday and Demon Slayer and Fruits Basket and all that shit.
I got started on Carol on Tuesday, and oh gosh, I immediately fell in love.
If you didn't start it on Tuesday, you have done a disservice to yourself.
I might have actually started it on Tuesday. But no, yeah, like I immediately fell in love with that, and I was also just immediately so pissed that Netflix is keeping it from us.
You know, guys, this season we actually didn't have like a Netflix fuck you show.
We did. Well, you did.
Did I?
Karakai Jozu no Takagi-san.
Oh yeah. Okay,
2?
never mind. Yeah, Netflix. Fuck you. That's
the
my
fact,
fuck you.
The
Netflix
fact that
show.
Netflix bought the season 2 but never bought season 1, like what?
Yeah, that's stupid.
Man, I don't know.
I'm so mad about. You're right. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm so mad now. I'm so mad.
I shouldn't have said anything.
That was the other show I was thinking about earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, it's a shame, but at least, it'll eventually come out so we can watch it, so.
Okay, but still, this happens every freaking season, and it's always the show I want to watch. I don't know why that happens.
Dude, I'm kind of excited to, now that they're doing the second season, I'm hoping that they will also start to adapt the follow-up series that the author made, that I've been reading.
It's always possible that they'll give it an OVA or something.
Because it's real fucking good.
I'm sure.
just to have these two main characters, like husband and wife, and then they have their little daughter, which is like a combination of both of them. She like tries to be clever, but she's still got her father's dumb streak, and like Takagi as just this like wonderful mother, but also horrible troll of a mother.
Oh no!
Just constantly like playing terrible jokes on her daughter.
Oh my god! This sounds amazing.
I love it. It's real good. It's very, very good.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you for bringing up the Netflix fuck you show, because I'm mad.
There's always got to be one.
And we say this almost, I swear to God, we say it every season. Netflix.
Fuck you.
God.
Like, seriously, because it's only here in America that they're like, oh no, we won't do the episodic thing. We'll just wait until the whole thing's out. But for some reason, only in America?
Yeah.
Like
what? I don't know. Like, because Japan gets it on time every week.
Yep.
Like,
they do.
Come on. Please. I'm tired.
All right, anyways.
I don't know, man. It just be what it be.
No, it doesn't have to be this way.
I know it doesn't have to be
I'm
this
not
way.
accepting
I understand
this.
that.
No, listen, man, fight. Absolutely fight for that.
I'm going to.
You gotta fight.
For your right. To anime.
Alright. Great. Good. Alright, let's end this podcast before that happens again. So.
Yeah, I got nothing else, so.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
I guess we'll catch everybody later. Enjoy the season, man.
Yeah. Have a good season.
Bye.
We'll check back in with you later.
Bad bye.
Bye. What?
Bad bye.
Matt.
It's the opposite to goodbye.
Yeah, why would you say that to our dear listeners?
Bad bye.
All right.
No!
It's a meme.
Thanks for listening. As always, you can find all our podcast, articles, videos, etc. at thebacklogers.com. Our intro-outro song is The Bear by Shell in the Pit, who you can find on Spotify and Bandcamp. And we'd love to hear from y'all either in the comments on our site or any feedback you want to leave us on whatever podcast platform you like. iTunes, SoundCloud, or if you get encased in stone for thousands of years, don't worry about it. Take care of yourself first. And as always, we're on Twitter at _Backloggers, so pull up a sit and log and stop for a bit. See you later.